guys, welcome to the studio and welcome to Social Saturday on a Friday. Yeah, I think you're going to get a bit of glare off my glasses today. Don't worry, I haven't gone all posh and businesswoman like. I just have the migraine from hell and glasses help, but you're probably going to get glare from the window. But yeah, so it is Friday. Obviously you'll be watching this tomorrow on Saturday, but I have to do it today because I debated whether or not to mention this, but it's not very often I won't say go off on one, but do this sort of thing, advocate, if that's the right thing, probably, yeah, push for things, but this one I am gonna do. I'm filming today on Friday instead of tomorrow on Saturday, because tomorrow, don't know if you can read the board behind me, I have to go for my smear test tomorrow morning. Yes, I know, embarrassing, but no, it's not. You know, it needs to be done, guys. It needs to be done, and so many women out there aren't having them done anymore, and you need to, seriously, you really need to go. So if you haven't been going, go. I say go, do it. I don't like having them done, I hate them, and I'll spend the rest of the day tomorrow being grumpy, feeling sorry for myself, and yeah, feeling utterly degraded, but, demoral, whatever you want to call it, but it has to be done. So, you know, suck it up, buttercup, and all that. Put your big girl tomorrow I'll be putting my big girl panties on and just go and get it done. What makes it worse is tomorrow my GP nurse isn't even doing it. I've got to go to a different clinic and have it done because our GP surgery is fully booked. So yeah, even more reason to want to put it off, which I did, but I didn't. I've been a big girl, I booked it, and I'm going. But yeah, so as I said, I'm doing this today on Friday instead of tomorrow because it needs to be done. Anyway, rant over. Yeah, you, even though it's Friday, you probably will hear Taylor because, as many of you will be aware, the UK is in not even local, massive lockdown. We have been since the beginning of January, and we will be till probably the end of February. They're talking about February half term schools wise, which is around the 24th, I think, something like that. So yeah, we're talking near to the end of February before we have a decision on what's happening. So in the meantime, Taylor is home, obviously, but I am not homeschooling him this year. This year, well, yeah, this year I'm going to take these off because it's doing my head in. Yeah, this year and this time I'm not homeschooling him myself. He's remote learning, so you can probably hear him. He's upstairs, but he does his work with his door open. That way, if he needs to shout, I can hear him. But also I can make sure he's not playing on games when he shouldn't be. But yeah, so like I said, you'll probably hear him. He may come down, especially now because he's on his dinner break. But yeah, so that also accounts for why videos are, quite a few videos have been back to having no speaking and sound and music on them, because sometimes when he's working, pardon me, he comes down and he works on my computer and then you can hear him, but also sometimes with the door open upstairs you can hear him as well, and you can hear what the teacher's saying, you can hear what the other children are talking about too. And for kind of data protection, child protection reasons, I do not want any of that even remotely being able to be heard on videos. So yeah, all that aside, yeah, it's going to be brief today, guys. Some of you have been asking about my dad. Dad's fine, well, as fine as he can be under the circumstances, and actually the reason I'm doing this now instead of later on or whatever is Man's literally just taking him to the hospital now for his pre-op. So Fingers crossed, guys, fingers crossed. Apparently he had one on the, he had to have a phone one the other day, and then while he were on the phone they said, right, we need you to come in. So Tagman's just taken him, which gives me about half an hour, 45 minutes to get this done. But yes, so I will kickstart everything by giving you guys some awesome news from me and for the ladies involved. I have 2 new design team members on board, so please, please, please give a really warm welcome to Brenda and Wendy. Yeah, Brenda from over at Your Way Crafting and Wendy from Spanish Crafter. All the links will be below, and their links will now also be down below in the Minxy Studio UK design team members link section in the description box of every single video. But just for today, they're just in the top part. But yes, so welcome aboard, ladies. Oh my gosh, the videos that they've done so far is amazing, absolutely amazing. Oh yeah, Brenda's so funny, so funny. I've had such a giggle watching her videos. It's like she's quite new to filming and editing, which is fine, you know, but I think she's doing an amazing job. But she's so funny the way she does it when something goes wrong. She kind of reminds me of me, where she's like really sarcastic and telling herself off sort of thing. It's quite humorous actually. But her projects are amazing, absolutely amazing. Go and watch. She's just done just about to finish doing a series. Or did she finish it? I can't remember. Oh, I think she's got a flip through to do next, but she's just done a series. I think it's been a 3-part one, using my kits as well as some others. Sorry, I can't remember off the top of my head which other kits she's used from other people, but watch her videos anyway, they're amazing. But yeah, so welcome aboard, ladies. It's amazing. It's been fantastic watching your videos, and yeah, just wow. I'm sorry, Deb, I still haven't got around to doing anything at all or working on our design team collaboration yet, but it is still in my mind and it is still in the pipelines. But because it's going to be kind of a sewing themed, or some sewing theme, I have been taking advantage of the 52 tags. Let me check before I say it wrong. Pardon me. 52 tags handmade, not hand, handmade challenge by Brooke, because it's helping me with my slow stitching, hand stitching skills. Because yes, I can do some of this on the sewing machine, and I probably will, but I want to do some of it by hand as well, because I do have, as soon as you challenged me on this, I had a thought going, oh, I know what I can do, but I need to brush up on my hand sewing before I can do it. So it may take another few weeks yet, but it's definitely still in the top of my, on the top of my mind to do. But yes, so welcome Wendy and Brenda to my design team. Awesome. I'm so glad you guys are on board. As far as design team as well, I got my latest kit, my kit choices that I asked for before Christmas. I got a message from Daisy over at Tsunami Rose Designs the other day saying everything's back up and running. Would you still like these kits, or would you like some new ones? So I've stayed with the ones I originally chose. So I will be doing a design team project for Daisy Collins over at Tsunami Rose Designs. Yay! So excited about that one. It's a really cool kit. I haven't printed it yet, guys. But yeah, it's a really cool kit. It's all pastels, pinks, butterflies, and actually the main part of the kit that I chose is actually called New Beginnings. So yeah, I'm quite excited about that one, but that will come. I'll do a show and tell of the kits that I am going to use in a separate video, and then I'll work on whatever I'm working on, and then I'll probably do a flip through. I probably won't do like I would normally do with a design team and design team project and do the whole thing on camera, because like I said before, this year's about taking a step back and working on my own in my own time without having the pressure. I know I put that pressure on myself. Daisy doesn't, nobody does, But as soon as I sit down to do a project and put the camera on to film what I'm doing, I immediately start feeling pressure of, oh, I need to get this done. Whereas if I'm doing it on my own in the background, I can just walk away, do whatever I'm doing, come back to it a day, a couple of days, a week later. If I'm filming, it's like, right, I've started, I've got to finish. So yeah, and then I get really stressed, and then my mojo goes, and then it's like, I don't want to do it now. I fall out of love with what I'm doing. So yeah, I may show a few bits and bats. I may not. Some of it might pop up in Work in Progress Wednesday anyway, but otherwise I will do a show and tell of the kits that I'm going to use, and then if I don't do anything else, I'll come back and I'll show you the final flip through when I've finished doing what I'm doing. So yes, my design team member design team project for Daisy at Tsunami Rolls is back up and running, so that will be coming soon. Now, where was I at? I've got my notes here, but I'm just all over the place because they are all over the place. I'm all over the place, can't you tell? Getting back to Taylor and his remote schooling. It's Friday today. On Wednesday, I had a telephone call meeting with his teacher. For his annual review. I will stop swinging the chair. For his annual review, because Taylor's funded, he gets funding. We have an annual review, and we review whether that funding's still necessary. I won't say eligible, but necessary. He's coming down. I can hear him. Yeah, he is. Shh, he doesn't know yet. Hey, buddy. Taylor?
Huh?
I'm filming.
Oh, don't mind me, I'm just taking out the rubbish.
Yeah, it's alright. you can't see that bit. The camera's a bit further this way.
In the way.
Alright, sorry, buddy. How's school going?
Fine, I guess.
What time? Oh, look, I can't tell you what time it is. My watch is dead.
I don't know, 1 something.
Right. Check on the PC.
No, it's okay. It's about to start soon.
Right, so you're not late.
No.
Alright. See you in a bit.
I would know when it's time when they call me, okay?
Alright.
Have fun.
Yep. He's gone back upstairs. Sorry, guys. Momentarily paused there. He's definitely upstairs. Yeah. I have to remind him what times he's just, like I said, he's just finished his dinner, but I have to remind him what time it is, and then he can finish playing games or whatever he's doing on his PlayStation, or even on the PC to go back to lesson time. But anyway, as I was saying, Taylor didn't know. I had the phone call annual review with his teacher the other day. We haven't spoken to Taylor about this yet, but we will do. And it's come to our attention. Taylor remote schooling has brought it to our attention more, but we was kind of already aware of this and had a feeling this may be coming, maybe on the cards. But it has come to our attention that Taylor is struggling at school. But it's strange because he's struggling, but kind of in a good way, because he's not struggling because he's behind, he's struggling because he's ahead. The college department that he's in at school obviously covers a wide variety of children with learning difficulties. Taylor, up until going into the college department, has been still at the same school, but he's been in a class the whole way through that has been specifically autism based. So from starting this school that he's at to not potentially, but leaving, if you will, last year, which, although he's gone into the college department, last year was, 2020, he officially left school. But up until then, for 4 or 5 years, he's been in a class every single school year term with other autistic children. Now he's moved up into the college department. He's not with just autistic children. He's with children with a very varied degree of other learning difficulties and disabilities. That's fine, it's not a problem, but he's also still in the most advanced class, but the most advanced class that he's in is the highest class that they do, and it's now been brought to our attention that it's not advanced enough for him. So this is quite, I wouldn't say shocking, because I had a feeling this were going to come, but it's quite a big turnaround, because all the way through Taylor's childhood, on advisory from specialists when we first had him diagnosed, I said we will mainstream Taylor until it's no longer possible, and we did. There was many hiccups along the way, don't get me wrong. We flitted from one school to another, blah de blah, and he did really well, and he came on great. Then when he came to leave primary school and go to high school, which he originally went to one across the road from us, I was the one that sat there going, mainstream's not possible. He needs to be in specialist. I don't think he's going to cope. But we mainstreamed anyway, because the school he was at, not the one he's at now, the one he was at, we had a lot of false promises off them. We can do this, we will do that, and then they didn't. But we were quite fortunate. It sounds bad, but we were quite fortunate in the fact that when it went downhill very, very fast. So he started in September. By Christmas, like the last 3 weeks of Christmas term, we was transitioning him from this school across the road from us to the one that he's at now, which is specialist. And since going there, he has absolutely thrived. So, excuse me, sorry. So yeah, but then when it came to him potentially leaving leaving school, full stop, last year, to either move up into the college department where he is or go back into mainstream, I kind of sat there and went, I think he needs out. I think he needs to come out of school, and I think he needs to go back to mainstream, because at the end of the day, if it doesn't work, we just, put him back in. Not necessarily the one he's at, but there are others. We can look at other options, but I don't think it's going to work. I think he needs to come out. Now, Taylor made the ultimate decision with our guidance, but we all kind of left it up to Taylor as well as school's input too. And he carried on, he stayed on at school, and he's gone up into the sixth form college department. But now it's not working. It is, but because he's more advanced than the other children and working at a higher level in his class, he's kind of on the sidelines again. Not on the sidelines because he's behind and he's playing catch up. He's on the sidelines because he's ahead, but the teacher needs to focus on the children that aren't. So Taylor's kind of on the edge, on the outside looking in again, but from a completely different perspective. So it's gonna be, I don't even know. It was never going to be an easy thing to do anyway, to take on anyway, but with everything the way that it is now, with the what, and the fact that we will probably not be able to go and view these places like we would normally do, or have meetings and that sort of thing, face to face anyway. I don't know how we're going to go about it. We were saying this with his teacher. We don't know how we're going to go about it, but there's been notes made on his annual review forms of this needs to be addressed and needs to be revisited soon. So we don't know what's happening or when, but we do know that it needs to be discussed further. But it's looking very much like Taylor is sooner or later coming out of the college department that he's in at school now and will be transferring somewhere else. We just don't know where. Ideally, there is a sixth form across the road from us in another school. We have two main high schools across the road from us. He's not going back to that one, because that's where he went from primary school to there, and they couldn't do anything for him then. They definitely ain't going to do anything for him now. Lost all faith in him anyway. But there's one that way, and that one is a very, very, very good one, and they have connections with Taylor's school anyway, sending children from that school to that sixth form. So fingers crossed, we're hoping for that one, but we don't know. We really don't know. But yeah, so more stress, just what we need right now with everything else going on. But yeah, so a lot of you have been asking about Taylor and how he's been handling remote schooling and everything. Well, he's struggling for the same reasons. Like I said, not being able to do the work because it's a little bit more advanced, that sort of thing. But he's also struggling anyway because he's at home and he can't handle the fact that even though technically he's at school, he's upstairs in his games room on his computer and his teacher is telling him what to do in his own house. That's the way he sees it, and it's like, why are they doing this? They're not allowed to do this. I'm at home. Yes, but technically you're at school. He's always struggled separating the two. So anyway, that's that. Apart from all that, he's doing fine, as you've just heard. You know, he's still Taylor. So yeah, that kind of went way off, but I needed to get that off my chest. Yeah, so as regards to the channel, thank you so much for your support on reining things back, guys. As you will have noticed, there have still been videos going up, but as you will have noticed, I stepped back from doing 3 videos a week to just 1. As I said, there have been other videos, but they're what I call top up or filler videos, because like mail times and that sort of thing, I will still do them, but they are now only ever going to go up on a Monday. Unless it's a really important one, they'll only ever go up on Mondays, because Mondays is now designated Mail Time Monday. Tutorial Thursdays are still going to go ahead, but they were always once a month anyway. But now we have like Tuesday, Tips and Tricks Tuesday, Work in Progress Wednesday is the one that I do every week. Social Saturday is usually once, well, I try and aim for once a fortnight, but ultimately it's going to be, there will definitely be one a month. Unless anything major happens, there will definitely be one a month. But I am aiming for once a fortnight, and I know I'm behind. Well, I'm not even behind, because once a month is my goal. Anything else is a bonus. But yes, so it kind of depends what I've got or what I haven't got to talk about in between, whether you get one a fortnight or just the once a month. But regardless of any other videos, you will get a Work in Progress Wednesday video every week. Whether it's a speaking video or not, I don't know. As I said, noise and stuff will determine those videos. Now I have got down here, you probably won't be able to see it, but I've got down here on my little whiteboard that we've had for years. It used to be a menu board, but I've nicked it to put in here so I know what I'm doing videos wise. Slow Stitch Sundays. Now, it kind of makes me laugh, because if you watch the videos, they're not slow stitching because they're sped up, so it's kind of super speed stitching. But those are the videos that I've done for the handmade challenge, the 52 tags handmade challenge by Brooke. Now, I'm not guaranteeing that there's going to be a video every Sunday, so I'm not going to commit. But I'm doing all these behind the scenes. Yes, I've been filming them and then speeding them up, because quite frankly there's no way at all with my slow stitching or hand stitching. Slow stitch is just stitching by hand, guys. There is absolutely no way on God's green earth can I do these and speak at the same time. I can, but concentrating, forget it. I would be videoing for 6 hours and still wouldn't get anything done. So I've been doing them, as you've seen, on camera but not speaking, and then I've been speeding them up, because you don't want to sit and watch me do just kind of like a simple-ish tag for about 3 hours, because trust me, these take a long time for me to do with my sewing skills. I can sew. I have always been able to sew by hand, way before I ever learned to use a sewing machine, because I was terrified of using a sewing machine when I was younger. So my mum taught me how to do stitching by hand to make it look like I'd used a sewing machine. So much so, my teacher, when I was at school, one of my art teachers, well, textiles back then, but art teacher, actually had to phone my mum to ask, did you sew this for Victoria? Because, you know, it's part of her coursework towards the GCSEs and it won't fly. And my mum's like, no, miss. She did it by hand. I sat and watched her, I taught her, she did it all by hand. And to prove it, my teacher gave me, like this, just a piece of material and some stitching and some thread and needle, and said, right, so I want you to replicate that here now in front of me. And I had to actually sit in front of my teacher and do it all by hand to prove to her I had done it by hand and not on a sewing machine. So I can stitch. As far as embroidery, like making flowers and fancy things, no, I've never tried that. But basic stitching, yes, I can. I'm just very rusty because I don't tend to do it unless I'm sewing up clothing by hand. But I've been doing the challenge. So week 1 was all white. So literally all white. And it was just normal stitching on that one. Week 2 was just a heart. So I have these cross stitch things that I've had for ages. We got them for Taylor when he had a bout of wanting to cross stitch. So I did that, and then I just glued those on, and then I just a bit of fabric. Actually, it's Hessian, burlap Hessian. I just rolled it and then couch stitched it. Couching is just where you go over it. You don't go through it. You go over it to tack it down, which I never knew. I knew the stitch, but I'm not very familiar with some of the phrases for them. And then week 3 was scrappy. So you just use your scraps and make a scrappy style tag. Now this is not the way that Anne did it. Some of them are. These two are. Like, she got a strip and folded it in half, ironed it, and then sewed through it so it stood upright, like a bit like a carpet pile. But I was like, I can't do that. I probably could, but I don't want to do that. What can I do? And then I watched Rachel's video at Roxy Creations, and she's like, no, I'm not doing that. So I'm like, oh, Rachel didn't do it, I don't have to do it. So yeah. I rebelled just like Rachel, and I actually did kind of do both. So I did some of Rachel's kind of interpretations, I did do a couple of Anne ones, and then these two, I don't know if you can see properly because of the lighting, the ruffles, that was already one that I made ages ago and it was sewn across on the machine, but then I just sewed it on, because again, scraps. And then this actually wasn't a scrap, it's a piece of lace, but I ruffled that by hand, as you'll see on the video, even though it's sped up. I did actually ruffle that by hand, ruffle it and sewed it on by hand. And I got that idea again from Rachel at Roxy Creations. She didn't ruffle anything, but it was right at the very end of her video, well, as she's putting the last piece on, she got a piece of material that were kind of folded over already and a bit bent at one side, and she's like, oh right, so she just put it down and sewed it on. And it were when she folded that bit back over to sew it on, I thought, oh, ruffles, because I love making ruffles. So I'm like, yes, you've given me an idea there, fantastic. So yeah, as the first ruffle that I put on was already a ruffle because it was a scrap from some that I'd done ages ago on the sewing machine. It gave me the idea to use the lace to do the next one. So even though it's not the way that Anne did it, it's still, I went with the kind of scruffy and fluffy look, but it's still a scrappy tag. So yes. And I've just, before doing this, watched today's video, which is the start of week 4. She puts the new prompt up every Friday. I'm behind. So today is Friday and the start of week 4, whereas when you watch my video on Sunday it will be week 3's. I'm kind of a little bit behind, but that's good because it gives me the full week then to catch up. But yeah, I've just been watching, like I said before doing this week's, which is week 4, and it's called Fly Stitch. I've never done a fly stitch before, so I might have to watch that video a couple of times and practice a few times before that sinks in, but it does look fairly simple, so I'm quite looking forward to that. Now, like I said, the videos, if I do them, I'm not going to commit because there might be times when I don't. If I do them, they will go up on Sundays as a slow stitch Sunday video. But it'll be sped up with music because there's no way I can do it while speaking. Not a chance, guys. And speaking of challenges, I'll try and get through this video. Oh, sorry guys. Ugh. Took too much air in. Susan Taylor Brown at Poppiness. This should have actually been mentioned along with the dining. What? Start again. This should have been mentioned back with the design team. I got this from Susan back in 2020. It is her Dragonfly Day Dreams or Dragonfly Dreams kit. I'll link below. I applied to be a guest design team member for her last year and then everything went to pot. But she's not much, so it doesn't matter in your own time. Yes, this is also going to be a behind the scenes project. I'm finally going to get around to doing it. And also, I'm going to tie it in with a little challenge that Susan set for 2021, which is to start with a leaf. So that's it, basically. You can do anything you want. She's been doing loads of stuff. It's awesome. So has everybody else. You can do anything you want, your own interpretations, whatever, but you just have to start with a leaf. So, oh, she says as she drops it. Yeah. I found this on the hallway floor at the bottom of the stairs the other day. Obviously come off bottom of somebody's shoe. I thought, right, perfect, I'll start with that. And it could be anything. It doesn't have to be an actual leaf. It can be a stamp with a leaf on. It can be anything at all. But you just start something. Make something and start with a leaf. So I'm going to actually pop that in this project folder with her kit. Then I know where it is because I'm going to work it into my project somehow. And yes, that's that. For those of you not already aware, Susan now has her own group called Poppiness and Friends, and it's amazing. But Susan also goes live every Wednesday at 12 noon her time, which is 8 PM-ish here UK time. I don't know about anywhere else, guys. I do know that Portugal is on UK time because of GCure. And oh my gosh, I can't remember who else in the group that I talked to at Poppiness. I can't remember who else it is that's also in Portugal and is on our time as well. Sorry, ladies. But yeah, so I'm not sure of what time that would be in any other countries. But yeah, like I said, for us it's here in the UK, it's approximately 8 PM every Wednesday. So fantastic, and you can pretty much always find me there lurking. Yeah, apart from last week, I had this Wednesday I was there, but the Wednesday before I kind of went AWOL and it was Took's fault. Blaming you. I'm blaming you. Hi, by the way. Yes, she just happened to mention earlier on in the day that she'd been watching the series Bridgerton on Netflix, and I know a few of my other friends have been raving about it, including Michelle from Shell's CCC. Apparently it's one of her favourite books. So I thought I was just having one of them days where it was like, I need to detach myself from the world, seriously. So I did. I just loaded up Netflix, stuck it on, and actually, like I said, it was after reading Took's status about watching it and spending more time watching what were going on in the background. Like, she wanted the wallpaper for books, for journal covers, she wanted the dresses and things, the material side from the dresses and things for yeah, ephemera, that sort of thing, making stuff with. And I'm like, sounds interesting. So I went and had a watch. Oh my god, there were, oh, I can't even remember how many episodes there were, but I got through all of them apart from 2. Were there 8 episodes and I got through 6.5 or something like that? Yeah, I got through every single episode apart from 2. I got halfway through the second to the last one, and then I looked at the clock and I'm like, oh, it's 11 o'clock. I better go to bed. So yeah, and then when I went up to bed, I got halfway up the stairs and I was like, oh no, it's Wednesday, I've missed Susan's live. I was so gutted, but I just really got myself engrossed into this Bridgerton. I just binge watched the whole thing apart from 2, and then the day after the episode I got halfway through, I went back and watched again from the beginning, and I finished the last 2 episodes. But oh wow, amazing. Watch it, guys, watch it. Yeah, fabulous. And Tokyo was alright. I spent more time googling, going, ooh, that'd look nice as a journal cover at the wallpaper and all the material and everything going on in the background. It was brilliant. But yeah, so I blame you. She sidetracked me, Susan. Tell her. But anyway, yeah, you'll find me there pretty much every Wednesday between 8 and 10. Oh, again, all the links will be below. Anyway, and then, speaking of challenges, it'll be a challenge for me to ever finish a brew while it's warm. Tracie Fox at LoveJunk Journals is doing a challenge over in her Foxy Crafters group, not Crafty Foxes, like I said many times last time. And she has provided us with a set of freebies in the group. Sorry guys. Pretty sure she posted this on her YouTube channel. Yes, she did. But these freebies are only available in her Foxy Crafters group. Again, links are below. And it is called Positivitag. Yeah. Yes, Positivitag. Not positivity. Positivity. Positivitag. Whatever. You get it, yeah? You can read it, I hope. There is an event set up in the group. I will link to that below as well. And you do not have to use these. She said you don't have to use them. These are just there if you want to. You can create your own, and basically all you're doing is just creating a positive tag. Something positive to help you. Yeah, so awesome. Today is the 22nd of January, and the challenge, as far as I am aware, finishes on the 29th. I will confirm or unconfirm that below. But I'm pretty sure it's the 29th. So yeah, and as I said, you get 2 fabulous freebies if you are a part of her Foxy Crafters group. All the links are below, guys. Go and check her out. And then 2 more things and then I'm done. I have Happy Mail from Jenny over at Genesis Crafts, and this one is amazing. I'm so excited. I'm a little bit excited, guys. Because not only have I put another order in, you know, but in there is a kind of collaboration thing, where Jenny got in touch with me before Christmas and asked if I would be interested. Oh, sorry guys, a message from school just reminding us that the Zoom choir meeting is today. Anyway, Jenny contacted me just before Christmas and asked if I would be interested in receiving one of her Jen Dories in the new year, if I would be interested in receiving one of her Jen Dory planners for free in return for me to do a review on it. Why was that so difficult? Honestly. So of course I said yes. So that's what that is. Oh my god, guys, you should see the material that we've chosen. So excited. I'm not going to open it until I'm going to open it on camera. Oh, have you any idea how restrained I have to be? Yes, I will open it on camera because, as I said, besides an actual order, I promised a review. So yeah, and today I have ordered some more. I know, like I need any. I have ordered some more supplies. I'm not going to tell you what they are yet. I have ordered some more supplies because, speaking of an exciting collaboration, I messaged Jenny last year before Christmas and asked if there was a possibility that we could do a sort of collaboration this year once I got my butt into gear and actually got it done. And when I put it to her and told her, she's like, yeah, certainly. So once my new supplies have come, and I still need to clear that end of the room, that end of the room will be get cleared. My supplies are coming on Monday, so I need to get that done over the weekend. I will be creating some interesting prints. Excuse me. And then, yeah, I'll be contacting Jenny, and that's all I'm going to say. Spoilers. But yeah, so anyway, exciting times ahead. And whilst we're on the subject of exciting news, I have some really exciting news that I can't tell you about because I'm not allowed to yet. I'll cry. But it is really exciting. Really exciting. When I saw it, I was like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, you have no idea how long I have been waiting for this. So straight to my email and I'm like, yes! But yeah, so you will find that out soon. But yeah, so exciting news that I'm going to keep hush hush for the time being because I'm not allowed to tell you about it. But yeah, it's going to be awesome. I already have everything ready as well. So excited, so excited. And that about finishes everything, guys, brings us up to speed. So I can't really think of anything else, to be honest. No, I can't. All's well, really. Bored, fed up, you know. Wish they'd hurry up and sort my dad out. For anybody who's watching that isn't aware of what happened to my dad, don't worry. Well, you know, he's fine. But in July last year, he had an episode which turned out to be a seizure. He'd had a seizure. Well, he had a seizure. During the seizure, that triggered a mild heart attack. Yes. Which then kind of, once they got him to hospital and everything, bearing in mind we were in full on lockdown then, so what a palaver that was. Through all that, once they got into hospital and everything, they did find numerous other things. I keep wanting to say PTSD, but it's not. It's COPD. That's the one. They found, like, they said, yeah, you've got this, blah, blah, blah. They tweaked his meds and everything else, blah, blah, blah. So that was fine. Thankfully, my dad has had heart attacks before. This was only a mild one. He's had quite severe ones before in the past. So has my mum. So will I probably one day. Genetics. Don't you just love your parents? But anyway, yeah. So this was only quite mild. It turned out the idiot, and yes, I know, but I will say it, hadn't been taking his heart meds. Oh yeah, he got a real rollicking for that, guys. A real one. Real one. Not just from me. My daughter went... yeah. She really gave it to him, let's put it this way. Yeah. He got told off. In a very dramatic way, because she's a bit of a drama llama. Love you, Nana. But yeah, anyway, but he listens to her, so... All that aside, that was a problem enough. But the main problem was, during all of this, he somehow dislocated his shoulder. His right one, actually, which is the same one I've got that's dicky. He's dislocated his shoulder. Now, that's what we thought until they decided to take him down to this operating theatre to push it back into place, and then realised they couldn't, because not only had he dislocated his shoulder, but the actual shoulder joint is all smashed up. So they couldn't, like, they were going to have to put his shoulder in place and then like pop it back in place and put a metal plate over it to stop it from popping out. But then they realised that the shoulder joint itself was all smashed up and he needs a complete new shoulder joint. Yeah. That was July last year, guys. We're in January now. I know, these things never get done quickly anyway, but with everything else going on, he's just been pushed from pillar to post, and yeah, it's getting really frustrating now because he had a consultation just before Christmas with actually the surgeon that would be doing it, and he was absolutely livid. Absolutely livid. He's like, why have they left you hanging this long? And you know, it's like, well, they keep saying it's because of the you know what, and he's sat there and he's like, no, it's not. My department has nothing at all to do with that. We're not taking, you know, we don't have any of them cases or anything like that. We are still operating as usual. Why have they not sent you yet? Well, you tell us, mate. So yes, very frustrating. But anyway, as I said, Dead Man's taking him today for his pre-op. So fingers crossed that something will get done. And apparently just before Christmas they bumped him up to the top of the list anyway. Not just the top of the list, but he was also on the list for cancellations. So he was also top of the list. Well, he was at top of the list, or fairly high up on the list. But also if there were any cancellations, we could have got a phone call saying come in. So, but anyway, yeah, that's about where we're at with that. But otherwise, he's doing fine, guys. He's doing fine. It's had a major impact on him, though, health-wise as well as confidence and everything else, because my dad's been such an active guy his whole life. He turned 81. Just like this, all this happened like a week, 2 weeks before his birthday. So it was like, no way. They did discharge him just before his birthday, and then he turned 81. So, you know, but up until then he was so active. He used to run rings around the bloody grandchildren, let alone us. But yeah, and he's gone from that to being pretty much immobile. It's heartbreaking to see. He is mobile, but obviously sitting around all day, you know, from being really active like that, sitting around all day, he's lost quite a lot of muscle mass and stuff like that. And yeah, he's turned into a little old man over the last 12 months. Near enough. But anyway, all that aside, like I said, fingers crossed we'll get some results today. So, yeah. As I said, other than that, everything's fine. We are all in good health-ish. Nothing out of the ordinary. Taylor's fine, besides the schooling side of things, and a few wobbles. We're stressed being cooped up at home again. The grandchildren are fine. Yeah, you know, everybody's fine. My mum's fine. But yeah, so there you go, guys. Anywho, I will, yeah, love you and leave you, because we are hitting the 49-minute mark. So, and as I said, Third Man will probably be home any minute now anyway. So, anyway, there you go, guys. So, thanks so much for watching, and yeah, we'll see you all again soon. Hopefully with some exciting news that I can tell you about. Fingers crossed. As soon as I can tell you, I swear I'll come back on and I'll be like, yay, this is it. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. I hope you're all safe. I hope you're all well. We've had a really bad storm and snow. Over the last few days, we've had quite a lot of snow. We were like this deep in snow the other day. Literally within a couple of hours, it was like 1 minute it was fine. An hour later, I look, shutting curtains to go to bed, and I was like, where did that come from? It was like this deep. The morning after, well, and then later on that night, early hours of morning, it went back to torrential rain, and then it had all gone. Still cold though. So wherever you are, I hope you are safe. I hope you're well. I hope you're staying warm if you're being affected by the storms and the snow and just general winter weather. If you're on the other side of the world, or, you know, America side as well, I hear there's some fires going on there as well. But yeah, I hope you're managing to stay cool and safe. But yes, so anyway, guys, I will love you and leave you. Just everybody stay safe, yeah? Okay? And yeah, I'm gonna go. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you again soon. Bye!